There are moments in life when your kindness can become your greatest weakness. Many of us were raised to believe that helping others is always a noble act. That saying, yes to everyone is the right thing to do, and that compassion should have no boundaries. But the truth is, not everyone deserves your help. Some people will take your generosity and twist it into a weapon against you. They don't seek your support to grow, they seek it to exploit. And this is why you must recognize the importance of refusing to help certain people, even when they ask you directly. We often grow up believing that helping others is always a noble act. From a young age, society teaches us that kindness is a virtue and that extending a hand to someone in need is the right thing to do. And yes, kindness is beautiful. Compassion is powerful. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear: not everyone deserves your help. Some people will take what you give and twist it against you. Some will drain your energy without ever considering how much it costs you. Some are not looking for help to rise. They are looking for help to lean on you while they stay exactly where they are. The biggest trap compassionate people fall into is believing that saying yes to every request makes them a good person. But goodness is not measured by how much of yourself you sacrifice for others. In fact, constantly helping the wrong people often makes you weaker, emptier, and unable to show up for the people who truly deserve your time and energy. If you've ever found yourself exhausted from giving, if you've ever felt resentful because someone kept taking without gratitude, then you've already experienced the reality of giving help where it wasn't deserved. The truth is, some people see kindness as weakness. They are not interested in building themselves up. They are interested in using you as a stepping stone while they stay stagnant. You might think you are helping them climb, but in reality, you're just carrying their weight while they refuse to move. And the more you help them, the more entitled they become. Instead of becoming stronger, they become dependent. Instead of being grateful, they start expecting it. That's when your help becomes their excuse for not taking responsibility. This is why discernment is more important than blind generosity. Before you give your time, your energy, or your resources to someone, you must ask yourself, what will this help create? Will it empower them to stand on their own, or will it enable them to avoid responsibility yet again? Will it lead to growth, or will it simply repeat the cycle of dependence? Not everyone who asks for help wants to be lifted. They simply want to be carried. And here's the hard part. Saying no to people like this will often make them angry. They may call you selfish. They may guilt trip you or even accuse you of being heartless. But remember this: protecting your energy is not selfishness, it is wisdom. It is the awareness that your life is not meant to be a dumping ground for other people's chaos. Every moment you waste on someone who doesn't deserve your help is a moment you could have spent building yourself, growing your dreams, or helping someone who truly values your support. Think about it: when you constantly rescue someone who never learns, you rob them of the very lessons that could change their life. By carrying them, you are stopping them from developing their own strength. That is not kindness. It is harm disguised as help. Real kindness sometimes looks like stepping back and letting someone face the consequences of their own actions. Real kindness means giving people the chance to grow, not keeping them small by constantly saving them. So, the next time someone asks for your help, pause and reflect. Are they trying to rise, or are they trying to use you? Are they willing to put in effort, or are they simply expecting you to carry them again? Not everyone deserves your help, and the moment you understand this truth, you reclaim your power. You stop being drained, you stop being used, and most importantly, you make space for the right people, the ones who will respect your support, grow from it, and one day, give back to you in return. One of the most damaging traps you can fall into when trying to help others is getting stuck in the cycle of dependence. This cycle begins innocently. You see someone struggling, you extend your hand, and they gratefully accept. At first, it feels good. You believe you are making a difference in their life. But then it happens again and again and again. Their problems never seem to end, and every time they fall, they come running back to you. Before you realize it, your help is no longer support, it has become a crutch. And the person you thought you were uplifting is now leaning on you so heavily that they refuse to walk on their own. The cycle of dependence is dangerous because it feels like compassion on the surface, but is actually a form of enabling. Every time you rescue someone from the consequences of their own choices, you teach them that they do not have to take responsibility. Why should they learn to solve their own problems when you will always step in to clean up the mess? Why should they grow stronger when they can rely on your strength instead? The more you help them, the less they help themselves. The more you give, the less they try. It is a cycle that keeps them weak and keeps you drained. This cycle does not only hurt them, it hurts you too. You begin to carry the emotional, mental, and sometimes even financial weight of someone else's life. You lose time, energy, and focus that could have been invested into your own goals or shared with people who truly appreciate your support. Over time, resentment builds. You start to feel taken for granted, unappreciated, and even manipulated. What once began as an act of kindness becomes a burden that weighs on your spirit. Here's the painful truth: some people do not want to be fixed. They do not want solutions, they want rescuers. They don't want to climb out of their problems. They want someone else to pull them out while they stand still. And if you continue to play that role, you are not helping them. You are trapping both of you in a loop that never ends. They remain stagnant, and you remain exhausted. Breaking free from the cycle of dependence requires courage. It means you must be willing to say no, even when it feels harsh. It means allowing others to face the reality of their choices without rushing in to soften the blow. It means trusting that sometimes the best way to help someone is to let them struggle. Struggle builds resilience. Struggle teaches responsibility. Struggle forces growth in a way that constant rescuing never will. Think about it: the strongest people you know didn't get there by being carried through life. They got there by falling, failing, learning, and getting back up on their own. If you keep rescuing someone every time they stumble, you are robbing them of the chance to become strong. What looks like kindness in the moment can actually be cruelty in the long run, because it denies them the very experiences they need to grow. It is also important to understand that your energy is not unlimited. Every time you pour into someone who refuses to change, you are pouring from your own well until it runs dry. But you cannot serve the world, your family, or your purpose if you are empty. Protecting your energy and refusing to enable others is not selfish, it is necessary. You must recognize that your role is not to carry people endlessly, but to guide them to carry themselves. The cycle of dependence can only be broken when you set boundaries. When you make it clear that your help has limits, you give others the opportunity to step into their own power. Some will grow and some will walk away, but either outcome is better than staying trapped in a cycle that benefits no one. So remember this: helping should uplift, not enslave. If your help keeps someone stuck, it is not help at all, it is harm. Break the cycle of dependence, and you not only free yourself, but you also give others the chance to finally rise on their own. One of the hardest lessons to learn in life is that not every cry for help is genuine. Some people have mastered the art of playing the victim. They know how to tug at your emotions, they know the right words to say, and they know exactly how to make you feel guilty for even considering saying no. On the surface, they appear desperate, helpless, and in need of your support. But beneath the surface lies manipulation disguised as need. These individuals thrive on sympathy. They exaggerate their struggles, dramatize their difficulties, and often make their problems appear bigger than they really are. Why? Because they've realized that playing weak gets them attention, resources, and a free pass from responsibility. Instead of taking control of their life, they invest their energy into controlling others' emotions. And if you're not careful, you become one of their biggest targets. The tricky part about manipulation is that it looks like genuine need at first glance. You feel compassion and you want to help, but if you step back and pay attention to patterns, the truth becomes clear. Do they ever put in effort to change their situation, or do they only call on you when things fall apart? Do they express gratitude, or do they act entitled to your help? Do they show up for you in return, or are they always absent until they need something? These questions reveal the difference between a person who genuinely needs support and one who is using need as a mask for manipulation. Manipulative people also use guilt as a weapon. They might say things like, "If you don't help me, I don't know what I'll do," or "I thought you cared about me." These words are not cries for support. They are emotional traps designed to make you feel responsible for their life. But here's the truth: you are not responsible for carrying another adult's choices. You are not responsible for solving problems they refuse to solve for themselves. And you are not required to sacrifice your peace just to avoid looking selfish in their eyes. The more you give to manipulators, the more they take. The more you say yes, the more they expect. And the moment you finally set boundaries, they will often turn on you, accusing you of being cold, heartless, or abandoning them. But remember, their reaction is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their dependence on using manipulation to survive. They are not angry because you did wrong. They are angry because they lost control over you. The key to protecting yourself is learning how to recognize the signs early. Genuine need is usually accompanied by effort. If someone is truly trying but just needs a little help to move forward, your support can be transformational. But if someone makes no effort, if their crises are constant and repetitive, if they only appear when they want something, and if they vanish the moment you set limits, that is manipulation, not need. And here's where you must be strong. Do not let guilt control you. Guilt is the fuel manipulators thrive on. The moment you learn to say no without apology, you take away their power. You stop being their safety net and force them to face their own reality. It may feel harsh, but it is the only way they will ever be forced to change or be exposed for who they really are. Always remember, your kindness is a gift, not a currency to be exploited. You are not cold for setting boundaries. You are wise for protecting your energy. The world has people who truly need help, people who will use your support as a stepping stone to grow. But there will also be people who wear masks of helplessness just to drain you. Recognize the difference. Because manipulation disguised as need is not just dangerous to your time and energy, it is dangerous to your soul. There is a very fine line between helping someone and enabling them. On the surface, both may look the same. You step in, you provide support, you give your time, energy, or resources, but the outcome is what separates the two. Helping is about empowerment. It lifts people up, gives them the strength to move forward, and encourages growth. Enabling, on the other hand, keeps people weak. It shields them from consequences, reinforces bad habits, and keeps them stuck in the very struggles they claim they want to escape. And many times we cross from helping into enabling without even realizing it. Helping is about creating independence. When you help someone the right way, you give them tools, guidance, and encouragement to stand on their own. You don't just solve their problem, you show them how to solve it for themselves. For example, if a friend is struggling financially and you offer advice on budgeting, teach them how to manage money, or help them find resources for work, that is helping. It empowers them to take control of their situation. But enabling is very different. If that same friend constantly mismanages money, ignores responsibility, and always comes to you for bailouts, and you keep giving them cash, you are not helping. You are enabling. Each time you rescue them, you confirm their belief that they don't need to change, because you will always be there to clean up the mess. What you think is compassion is actually cementing their irresponsibility. The danger of enabling is that it feels like kindness in the moment. You tell yourself, I'm just being supportive, or this is what a good friend or family member does. But the truth is, you are not lifting them. You are keeping them down. True kindness sometimes requires tough love. It means stepping back and letting someone face the consequences of their choices, even when it's uncomfortable to watch, because it's in those moments of discomfort that people grow. Think about the strongest, most resilient people you know. They didn't get there because someone shielded them from every hardship. They got there because they faced challenges head on, learned hard lessons, and became stronger through struggle. When you constantly enable someone, you rob them of that opportunity. You take away their chance to grow into their own power. And let's not ignore what enabling does to you. When you are always stepping in, always solving problems, always saying yes, you become drained. You carry burdens that aren't yours to carry. Your own dreams, goals, and peace get pushed aside while you dedicate yourself to someone who may never appreciate it. Over time, this creates resentment. You begin to feel used, unvalued, and trapped in a cycle of giving that never ends. The solution is to practice intentional helping. Before you offer support, ask yourself, will this action empower the person, or will it keep them dependent? Will it encourage growth, or will it encourage excuses? Real help uplifts, while enabling only prolongs the problem. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is say, I can't fix this for you, but I believe you can fix it for yourself. That kind of boundary forces accountability and inspires growth far more than constant rescuing ever will. It's not about being cold or heartless. It's about recognizing that your role is not to carry others endlessly. Your role is to walk beside them while they learn to carry themselves. Helping creates independence, enabling creates dependency. And if you truly want to change someone's life, focus on lifting them up in ways that make them stronger, not weaker. So remember this, you are not truly helping if your support keeps someone stuck. Real help transforms. Enabling destroys. Choose wisely. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors that you control. They are the invisible lines that protect your time, your energy, your peace, and your purpose. Without boundaries, you leave yourself wide open to being drained, manipulated, and used. With boundaries, you take back control of your life, and you decide who gets access to your energy. And in a world where people constantly ask, take, and demand, learning to set boundaries is not just important, it's essential. Many people struggle with boundaries because they confuse them with cruelty. They think saying no makes them selfish, heartless, or unkind. But the truth is the opposite. Boundaries are an act of love, both for yourself and for others. They teach people how to treat you. They show people that your time is valuable, that your energy is sacred, and that you will not allow yourself to be used as a dumping ground for their problems. Without boundaries, you lose yourself in the endless needs of others. With boundaries, you preserve your strength so you can give meaningfully where it truly matters. Think about how much energy you've lost in your life by saying yes when you wanted to say no. How many times have you agreed to help someone, not because you wanted to, but because you felt guilty if you refused? How many times have you stretched yourself thin to please others while your own needs went ignored? Each of those moments is a sign of weak or absent boundaries, and every time it happens, you lose a little piece of yourself. The importance of boundaries becomes even clearer when dealing with toxic or manipulative people. These are the individuals who will take as much as you allow. They have no limit, no sense of respect for your time or energy. If you don't draw the line, they will keep pushing. They will ask, demand, and guilt trip you until you are drained dry. Boundaries are your protection against these people. They are the shield that keeps your energy from being stolen. But here's the hard truth. The first time you enforce a boundary, people may not like it. They may call you selfish, distant, or uncaring. Why? Because boundaries disrupt the benefits they were getting from you. If someone has been used to exploiting your kindness, your new boundary feels like rejection to them. But that discomfort is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to protect your peace and to honor your worth. Boundaries also give clarity. When you set them, you see who respects you and who doesn't. The people who value you will honor your limits. They will adjust, respect your space, and continue to have a healthy relationship with you. The people who resist your boundaries reveal that they were never truly invested in you. They were invested in what they could get from you. In this way, boundaries act like a filter. They separate those who love you from those who use you. And here's the beautiful thing about boundaries: they don't just protect you, they also empower you. When you say no to the wrong things, you create space for the right things. When you stop giving all your energy to people who drain you, you suddenly have energy to invest in yourself, your goals, your passions, and the people who genuinely matter. Boundaries don't just keep negativity out, they create room for positivity to thrive. So don't be afraid to draw the line. Don't be afraid to say, this is what I can do, and this is where I stop. Boundaries are not cold, they are healthy. They are not selfish, they are necessary. They are not rejection, they are protection. Remember this: if you don't respect your own boundaries, no one else will. But when you do, you teach the world how to treat you. And that, more than anything, is the foundation of peace, power, and freedom. Life is short and your energy is limited. That's why one of the most important choices you will ever make is deciding where and in whom to invest your time, energy, and support. The truth is, not everyone deserves your investment. Some people will take everything you give and still complain it isn't enough. Others will accept your help, grow from it, and then use their growth to lift others as well. The difference between these two types of people determines whether your energy is wasted or multiplied. Investing in the right people is about discernment. It's about recognizing who appreciates your support and who only exploits it. The right people won't drain you, they will respect you. They won't make you feel guilty for having limits. They will honor your boundaries. They won't just take from you endlessly. They will grow because of your help, and in time, they may even give back. When you invest in the right people, your energy doesn't vanish. It creates ripple effects of growth, respect, and positivity. Ask yourself who are the people in your life who actually value what you do for them, who expresses gratitude instead of entitlement, who takes your advice or support and puts it into action instead of coming back with the same problems over and over again. Those are the people worth your investment. They don't just see you as a safety net, they see you as a partner in growth. And that difference matters. The wrong people, on the other hand, will drain you like a leech. They will take your kindness for granted and assume you owe them your energy. They never grow, never change, and never appreciate what you do. When you invest in them, your efforts disappear into a bottomless pit. You end up frustrated, exhausted, and resentful while they continue living irresponsibly, waiting for someone else to clean up their mess. This is why it is so important to step back and evaluate, are you pouring into soil that will grow, or are you pouring into sand where nothing will ever take root? The right people multiply your efforts. Think about it when you help someone who is already working hard, your support acts like fuel. It pushes them further faster. They take your advice, your encouragement, or your resources, and they build on them. They don't waste your time, they maximize it. And when they grow, they often pay it forward, helping others in the same way you help them. This is how true impact spreads, not by enabling the wrong people, but by empowering the right ones. Investing in the right people also brings you peace. You no longer feel drained or used because you see the positive results of your efforts. You witness growth, transformation, and gratitude. That feeling of fulfillment reminds you why you choose to help in the first place, not because you want to be used, but because you want to make a difference. And making a difference is only possible when you give to those who are ready to rise. But here's the key. You can only identify the right people when you have boundaries, when you say no to manipulation, and when you refuse to enable. If you keep giving blindly to everyone who asks, you'll never have the clarity to see who truly deserves your support. By stepping back, by being selective, you protect your energy and ensure that your investment goes where it matters most. So, choose wisely. Don't waste your life trying to water weeds that will never grow. Focus on nurturing the seeds that will flourish, the people who are ready to rise, and the relationships that bring mutual respect and growth. Because in the end, your energy is your greatest currency. Spend it on people who multiply it, not on people who waste it. That is the true power of investing in the right people.